Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Mythic Legion's Illythia's Brood Vargg figure from Four Horsemen. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks awesome and yeah, just very striking. And we'll start off just the silhouette's great. The wings really add a lot. However, they are a little cumbersome, and we're actually going to take them off just so it's easier to maneuver here. They do come off pretty easily. They're not on in the package, so actually, I guess we'll look at those. Actually, no, we'll look at those in the next section because they're technically accessories. But in terms of the figure itself, like very much the sculpt we kind of come to know from Four Horsemen with Mythic Legions, just in terms of the musculature. And yeah, it's fantastically done. That nice bright white with the gray kind of accents to kind of bring out the muscles, and the actual sculpt itself look fantastic. The face is just obviously this like snub-nosed bat. Actually, can't recall exactly what species, though this does look extremely familiar. But they did a fantastic job here in terms of like the nice purple accents around the eyes and in the ears. Just kind of bring that out, and that kind of calls back to the mouth as well. They get the nice yellowed teeth and those bright white eyes that just are absolutely piercing. Like that's stunning. Not only that, and then we get to kind of the clothing, and so for the collar we do get this black with this nice brushed over silver, which gives it some nice aging, brings out all those details. Plain black wraps for the arms. We get kind of a belt piece we've seen from various Mythic Legions. I don't have a ton, but I mean obviously I've seen this on other figures. And then we get the pants, which are all kind of chainmail and armored, so really cool, especially considering like all those like rivets are punched in with some nice silver paint. We get the nails done, just kind of the stark black. So again, a very stunning figure aesthetically. We get a great group of accessories, so let's jump right in, and we will start with the wings that I kind of almost looked at but didn't in the last section. Love the sculpt on these, just very like dynamic, very sharp as well. You can see the nice tears in there. Just give it kind of some age, like it's this Vargg has been through some stuff. Not only that, but we get that base white that we saw on the body, and then we get some kind of dark accents here in the webbing of the wings with a little bit of a silver dry brush over that. Makes it look absolutely just wonderful. And yeah, just really cool sculpt overall. And then in the back, we get kind of more of a leathery texture. So really cool stuff. Then we get into hands. So right out of the box, we do have a couple of kind of clawed, kind of posed hands, and the left and right are different. So the left, you've got the fingers a little more extended, a little more closed here on the right. Can almost act as a grip for certain weapons. Then we get, speaking of grips, a pair of them, a pair of strict grips. So there's that. Then we get some chains, some shackles rather. So real metal chain, just done in black metal. And then we get these pieces, which are plastic. There's an opening too, so you can slip them over. You don't have to take the hands off to get these on. I'm assuming these work on the feet as well. And some really nice brushed silver over that kind of black base. And then we get the similar deal going on here with the collar. Though we get a little bit of gold or copper sort of look going on there as well. So it looks really nice. Same deal, has the opening. So it's not like completely restrictive, but we do see the keyhole there, and then we get the metal chain again, this one much longer. And we do have the end for another carrier, probably another character, pardon me, probably Illythia to hold on to, and a really nice sculpt going on there. Then more brushed silver over black for the mace, and obviously there's a lot of silver paint going on here. Really gives it a really nice sheen and kind of stands out. Looks brutal as hell as well. Then we get this cool broad short sword, the really nice lavender jewel there at the hilt. And then it's kind of darker silver for the blade, almost elven looking. And speaking of that, we get this elven style axe, just really nice, delicate looking blade, and then kind of that more scaled look to the handle. And even the pommel just looks like it could like run someone through. So really cool design and great accessories. Articulation balance here, really nice. As you can see, freestanding kicks. I've definitely become a fan of Mythic Legions just with the range and the kind of fun you can have with the articulation. So there's that. We'll go over the base figure first, then we'll go move on to the wings. So the head is just a simple ball joint, but we get all the up so you can absolutely do flight poses. Down is kind of more of a neutral, but you do get a little bit of tilt, rotation. Then you get hinge and swivel at the arms. We're gonna do a perfect T. You get rotation, obviously, all the way around. Single joint at the elbows, so you're coming not quite to 90, but close. We do get swivel there as well. We get hinge and swivel at the wrists. Nothing at the diaphragm, but we do have a ball joint at the waist, which gives us about that much crunch. Fantastic arch back. Get some side to side and some rotation as well. Come to the hips, and we're getting full splits, kind of beyond, just absolutely beautiful. Then we get both a thigh swivel here, kind of mid-thigh, as well as a swivel at the knee as well, because that is a single joint. And that doesn't quite come to 90, actually doesn't even come close to 90, which is a little unfortunate, but can still definitely work with it. Then we get a swivel at the ankle, some really nice point, some really nice forward, and some excellent rocker as well. And then we get the wings. And these, really like the articulation scheme here. We do have a hinge here at that kind of elbow joint. So you can come all the way up, you can fold it in. You can see that there is a peg here. And there is a hinge. It is very, very tight. I've already heated these up and they really don't move all that much without heat. So definitely be careful with that. And then there are just two ports here on the back, which they go into, and the wings, unfortunately, are a little heavy, especially for the figure, and have the depth of the depth of the ports, because yeah, it just kind of like falls down. The right works better, so I'm gonna have to apply something in there to get that to work. But still, really cool scheme, and that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other Mythic Legions, with some domestics, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with articulated icons, Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valorous Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Mythic Legions Illythia's Brood Vargg figure from Four Horsemen is that this figure absolutely rules. I've become more and more of a fan of Mythic Legions as I go along. I've always loved Four Horsemen's work, but Mythic Legions in particular, just a lot of the fantasy stuff isn't really like directly in my wheelhouse. The more they've done these villainous waves and had more of these kind of gothic or just kind of horror-based characters, the more I've been drawn in, and this absolutely adds to that. Really striking figure for the shelf. The wings are a little bit of a hassle, but I mean, you can work with them, and I intend to kind of like tighten up the joints and kind of see what I can do there. But fully recommend this if you're a fan of bats or gothic style figures, and just a lot of really good stuff. If this appeals to you, go find it. Unfortunately, it is unavailable from a number of resources, pardon me, from what I could see, so the secondary market might be your only choice at this point. But that being the case, I do wish you the best of luck taking that avenue. Beyond that, I just want to say that I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if you did, I hope to see you back here, because I do multiple reviews a week like this, and especially in October, I tend to focus on horror and horror adjacent figures, which I thought this fit the bill. So yeah, if that appeals to you, like, come on back, let's talk about some really nice plastic and just escape the world for a while. But really, at the end of the day, I just hope that you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.